Last year, a lot of us were talking about if Max Crosby came to the Chicago Bears. Well, I'm going to put that back into discussion, especially after Myles Garrett asked for a trade from the Cleveland Browns, who says Max Crosby won't do the same. He's getting older in his career, same age as Myles Garrett. And on top of it, too, I don't see the Raiders making any big moves or being in contention for the next couple of seasons. But I got two trade options that could go down for the Bears in order to get Crosby. And before I get into that, hello, everyone. And welcome back to this episode of Justin Another Year, Chicago Bears. And on top of that, too, if you want Max Crosby to be on the Bears, smash that like button on this video. I think it'd be absolutely massive. Cheaper than Myles Garrett, and you're still getting the all right Bears trade option in 2025 miles. Garrett is definitely out there considering the fact that the Cleveland Browns would have to chew a ton of money in order to even trade him. Bears would have to trade a ton of picks. Considering the fact that Garrett has been consistent season in and season out, Max Crosby first down year for him in his entire NFL career was this past year in 2024 for the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders obviously had a tough season as well, but Ryan Poles is not afraid to trade, and he's made himself some pretty good deals over the last couple of years. I'm going to say that Keenan Allen trade was pretty good, considering how many starting offensive linemen came out of the fourth round in the last 3 years in the NFL zero. So Bears trade options in 2025 goes to Max Crosby, and Ryan Poles is not afraid to get the job done. So, landing mad, Max Crosby again could be an opportunity for the Bears. The All-Pro Edge has 2 years left on his $54 million contract, both years exactly at $27 million in cap, and the Bears can make a trade that helps out the Raiders rebuild for the future, along with being able to afford Max Crosby this year. Bears restructures some contracts next year, or even gives Max Crosby a big signing bonus. This could be big for the Bears, especially what he has done over the last 3 years, and why him and Mon W could be unbelievable. Along with Jeremy Garrett, our new defensive lineman coach, could be big for this team. Now, a own and wrecking crew is who Max Crosby is, which back in 2022, he had 57 total tackles for 21 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 22 quarterback hits, and 44 quarterback hurries along with that. In 2023, he did not slow down. In fact, he sped up 56 total tackles, 25 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 15 quarterback hits, and 64 quarterback hurries. This guy, again, with very little help on that Raiders defense, has done a really solid job. And on top of that, too, in 2024, 335 total tackles. He only played in 10 games due to injury, but 12 tackles, lost 8 sacks of 12 quarterback hits, and 34 hurries. Imagine if he had those 7 games back. Now, I want to say one more thing about this is that Arthur Smith, the Bears' new linebackers coach, worked with Max Crosby in 2021. The two had a very good relationship, and him coming back could help initiate, Smith going, "Hey, Poles, get this guy. He wants out of Vegas. I know how to coach him. I've unlocked them before. Let me do it again." So trade number one for Max Crosby will be trading linebacker trainee Edmonds in the 72nd overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft for Max Crosby, the Raiders. According to Over the Cap's trade calculator, actually win this trade by a lot now. Let's break it down a little bit more. So again, Bears get edge, Max Crosby. They then trade linebacker Tane Edmonds, who still has 2 years left on his contract, making $18 million per season, along with the 72nd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. So they get a top 100 pick and a top linebacker who has proven himself in the NFL. 100 tackle season type player leader, and only 25 years old. So when he's done with his contract, the Raiders can resign him again for a big amount of money and still have a top player. This also allows the Raiders to focus on their offensive line issues, and they can go out and get another Max Crosby, considering the fact that Max Crosby was a later round pick in the NFL Draft about 10 years, 7 years ago. So this could be big for the Raiders. They clearly not how to find talent in those later rounds, and they get rid of a huge cap dump because of the fact that the Bears still only get to have Max Crosby contract of $27 million, Jermaine Edmond of $8 million. Bears would take on another $9 million. They clear up a whole lot. 9 plus getting another pick could be really big for the Raiders. Now, there is a second pick that I want to go through, and this one lands in the Bears' favor. So they would trade left tackle Braxton Jones, who's on injury, along with edge DeMarcus Walker, who has 1 year left on his contract at $7 million. And on top of that, too, the two
Last year, a lot of us were
along with
talking
the
about if
20 to
Maxx Crosby
72nd
came to
overall
the
pick
Chicago
again,
Bears.